The applicants were asked to respond by emailing, calling or visit. This is a very easy one. We don't even have to, like, as soon as you read it, you know where the error is, right? The clue is parallel construction. Where is the error in this? 1, 2, 3, 4. Part 4. That's it, right? Emailing, calling, add one ing, you're done. Part 4. She asked the manager where should she... actually, I think there's a typo error here. There is no I here. Okay? So if this was there in the test and if you had marked 4, then I understand. Right? But that's not where the error is actually. She asked the manager where should she keep the big box. Any other error in this context, do you think? Now, if you look at the statement, what statement is this? Indirect. Indirect speech. Right? Now, in indirect speeches, usually what happens is questions are changed to statements. And this is something that you need to remember. Questions are changed to statements. So the direct speech could have been, she asked the manager, where should I keep the big box? So you're changing it, right? So when you're changing it, the question changes to statement. Somebody pointed that earlier, the error is in part 3. You just need to interchange that, right? She asked the manager where she should. Make it a statement. Don't retain it as a question. Should I do this? Should I keep the big box? Is a question. Change it into a statement. Where she should keep the box. Keep the big box. Error is in part 3. Just interchange this. That's all. Right? Okay, the next one is, okay, spot the error. So let's look at this. Riches are uncertain things and the fame that power give or is won by foul means is short-lived as the dewdrop. Riches are uncertain things and the fame that power... See, as soon as you read it, you know where the error is, right? The fame, singular subject. And that power, singular subject. Power gives. I need a singular verb. Right? So obviously, the part where this is mentioned is in part A. That power gives. In fact, I think they made a mistake here. Instead of, they've written the answer here. Whatever it is, that's where the error is. Some members of the committee were opposed to use the club members' money to redecorate the meeting hall. So when I'm reading this, again, something seems off. What is it? Now let's understand this. Now when you have sentences where, there are more than 1 or 2 verbs, right? For example, here, I have some members of the committee were opposed to. Then I have use, that's another verb. Then I have to redecorate. That's another action verb, right? So I have multi-part verbs, right? So when there are too many verbs in a context, there's a concept of either a gerund or a infinitive form or a participle coming into play, right? So having said that, some members of the committee were opposed to doing what, right? If I break it here, right, and I'm asking a question, they were opposed to doing what? And the question answers with use the club members' money. So if I'm asking this question, doing what, I need a continuous verb form here, right? Some members of the committee were opposed to not use the club members' money, using the club members' money. Yes. So basically here, this is functioning like a gerund, right? In doing what? Using the club members' money to redecorate the meeting hall is a definite no. Why? Because some members of the committee are opposing it. Are you following? Let me give you another example. So if I say, with a book, let's say with a book, Vinay was beating dog over its head in an attempt to retrieve his phone. Let's say the dog took Vinay's phone and ran off. Okay, so with the book, Vinay was beating the dog over its head in an attempt to retrieve his phone. So in the context, right, I have a lot of verbs, more than one action word, right? So with the book, Vinay was doing what? Beating the dog over its head in an attempt to retrieve his phone. Vinay ran with a book behind. So here, sometimes we need to kind of break down sentences and try and understand what's the right verb form that I need in the context. So with the book, Vinay was doing what? He was beating the dog over its head in an attempt to retrieve his phone. Right? So the intention Remember, infinitive, the function of an infinitive, the function of an infinitive is, right here in the context, the infinitive is to redecorate. What was the intention? Why are the committee members opposing? And what are they opposing? Using the club members' money. For what? The intention is to redecorate. Right? That was the purpose or the intention. So here, to redecorate, the infinitive form is correct. But here, use is not in the right form. I need a gerund form. Right? Answering the question, doing what? So I just gave you another example. So with the book, Vinay was doing what? Beating the dog over its head. So beating here is functioning like a gerund. I hope you know what a gerund is, right? Verb plus ing, which functions like a noun. And how do I know it functions like a noun? It answers the question what? Who, what, right? Subject, object, noun. So the error is in part A. You don't say to use, you change it to opposed to using. So don't get confused with to use as a infinitive. I don't need an infinitive here, right? In fact, the collocation is opposed to. That's the collocation. Verb plus preposition collocation. It's like, I'm sure you follow collocation by now, right? We've been using that time and again. Collocations are fixed expressions. So to follows opposed. Opposed to. Yeah? The doctor asked his patient to regularly take his medicine. What's the answer? So I have no error. The doctor to regularly take his medicine asked his parent. Okay, let's understand this. A lot of typo errors, okay? This is actually patient, not parent. The doctor asked his patient to regularly take his medicine. Now, I'll give you a clue. Let me see if you're able to guess it, okay? The clue is, logically, look at it like you go to the doctor, right? And he is asked you to do something, right? I'm giving logical breakout. So, the doctor asked you to do something. When is last? Word order here, right? We're talking about sequence in terms of time reference, right? Usually, the word order, if you look at the word order, you will have a subject, right? You will have a verb. You will have an object. The indirect object will come first. And then you will have a direct object. And then you will have place and time, right? This is the correct word order. So if I have to give you an example, I will say, let's say, I will tell you the proposal at work tomorrow, right? So what am I saying? I subject, will tell verb, indirect object. To whom are you saying? Indirect object answers the question to whom. Direct object answers the question what, right? So what will you tell? Direct object proposal. Indirect object to whom will you tell? You. Where? At work. When? Tomorrow. Likewise, if you go back to this, the doctor asked, the doctor subject asked verb, his patient to whom? Indirect object. What should come next? Direct object. What is the direct object? The doctor asked to do what? Right? Take his medicine. That is the direct object. So that should come before when? Before time. Are you following? So regularly should come at the end. So this is a word order error. So the error is in part C. Right? The doctor asked to take the medicine. So asked his patient to take the medicine regularly. Are you following? It's a word order error, right? Though it looks like, hey, there is no error, but we need to kind of pay attention to all these little things, right? The error is in part C.